Hello and welcome to A Life of Creation. My name is Chad and I'm the host of this channel. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and please hit that notification button so that you know when I release new videos. Tonight we're talking to Daniel Maldonado, who is a musician, songwriter, guitar player, helps his community, and he seems to be truly interested in a lot of different things, but I know him from the hardcore band Clear Convictions. Just use an overlay.
I was surprised that you kind of. I was like, me? Okay.
Well, I mean, you do a lot, and you are a creator,
Yeah.
and so that's the beauty of it's anyone. Everyone has a story and a unique perspective on life, and
Right.
they use it for their creation.
Yeah, I was so excited that you just like contacted me. I was like, wow, this is so cool. I've been, dude, I love community. I love talking to people. I love, and I'm in a season right now where I'm living here in Florida in Sebring, where
Hmm.
my mom stays, and we're trying to sell this house. And I'm pretty active in the church right now and doing things and that. But I I I lived for so many years in Orlando that I have a whole community, a whole life built over there. And then when I
Right.
move here, it's like I'm by myself again. And then it's like being here in solitude. That's when I started like writing music and doing all kinds of stuff again. And
Right.
now I'm like craving that community there.
Right. I've done so many things. I need to share it.
Exactly. It's like we went to Puerto Rico, we played shows. I started connecting with people again and all that. And it's like, man, there's so much. I
Yeah.
miss this because I was so focused on just being a father and a husband
Right. Well,
that,
I mean, I think that's the beauty of it. Is it's a journey. It's not like this. We're going to just do this for the
right,
rest of my whole life. There's seasons.
right, it's seasons
Yeah.
basically. I'm like, I've been in and out
Yeah.
seasons where I'm like all involving community. There's always just when I'm like just focusing family, then I go back to community, then I go back to solitude, and then God prepares me for something else. And then
Right.
as a creator, it's just echoing my relationship with God, right? It's
Right.
serving other people. It's giving a message that worked for me, and I put it into something, some creation. It could be music, it could be writing, it could be, even, stuff that is like blue collar work. It doesn't really have to be always
Right.
like some drawing or, and just put it out there to serve someone else.
Yeah.
And that's basically my perspective, my basic perspective on how to, do not do, but be a creative. It's just to serve. It's
Yeah.
just to give solutions to people. Some other people do it for express self-expression and oh, I have these feelings and just want to these emotions of I don't know, these thoughts, and I just want to put it into something and drop it out there and see if someone can relate. I understand that. I just feel like it's not what God puts in my heart to do. I feel more like God has put me as a evangelist, more like as a person who delivers solutions and serves people
Right.
through all the things that I do.
Right.
And I love creation. I mean, like I said, God is creation. God
Right.
is creator. He created us. This is the first thing you read in the Bible is like, and God created, and He turns like chaos into order, and He created this, and He created this, and it was good, and then He created us, and then He says that He created in His image, so we have that DNA on us, and it's like, and if you think about creation and all the things, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's also everything serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. And it's something in my life, in my personal life. Like I feel like that's what I'm called to do.
Right.
That's how I, um, perceive 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 it in the Bible, and I was like, that's how I'm gonna do it. I just want to serve people, and when I like, we can talk about many things. You got your questions.
Yeah.
When it comes to music, that's the main goal. I wish I have a career playing music, but the bigger purpose is for me to serve people, through my music. Whether it's like, hey, this is heavy music that you like that you might not find somewhere else, and this is heavy music, but it has a message where you can relate to not only a message but solutions, and this is something that even your kids can listen to,
Right.
you know. And this is music that in the future your kids can get influenced by, and the message can resonate with them, and then it can uh, push them and impulse them, and just like be used as an impulse to so they can do the same thing and just start ministry and start helping other communities and building communities and spreading a message of salvation and solutions. Because out there, I just feel like there's a lot of people complaining already. There's a lot of people whining already in their music. Not that I criticizing it as a bad thing, but it's like there's so much of that I want to be, and there's so much about of like myself when I'm creating, put into stuff, which is not bad. I want to clarify that.
Right.
But I in my case, I want to be one that is like not about me, about my neighbor, about serving people, about giving, you know, away what God has given me. What if like God is blessing me in some, area of my life, I want to share that. So I grab my music, I grab my whatever I'm designing as like it needs to reflect that, it needs to reflect a message, convey a message. It has to say something. Um, and I don't know if you've seen because I do a little bit I love graphic design.
Okay.
And I love branding and I love space and I love like interior design and I love how people use space and all and especially my art and my music, it always has to say something. It has to like for one of the new songs called The Great Divide, I made like a whole collage of like it's like a church uh it's breaking in two, and there's a whole meaning behind it, and I hope people when they read the lyric of the song they can get the the message behind the image, and like everything for me has to make sense like that. I'm always trying to say something. I'm always trying to convey a message and kind of outreach through the music, or to convict, or just to I don't know. It's hard for me to make music for myself. That's
Right.
the conclusion. It's hard for me to make music for myself. One thing that is for myself, the only thing I consider is that I never look around for validation. I do my art, and if I am happy, then it goes out, and whatever happens happens. You cannot control. Sometimes you're gonna hit, sometimes you're gonna miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes a message is gonna resonate with a lot of people, and a message sometimes it doesn't resonate with almost anybody. And you're like, I thought that song, man, that lit, man, and then it's like nobody cares, and you're like, well, nobody cared.
Yeah.
But the one thing I care about on a personal level is that when I listen to it, I'm satisfied as an artist, as a creator. It's like, yeah, I feel like I delivered the message that I wanted to deliver. But
Right.
outside of that, it's like I never make music for myself. I never do, never do. But what the crazy thing? It's just for me. Like for example, I'm just gonna give you a short story. This is the one song that I wrote for myself, right? Woohoo, woohoo, wow, 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 the whole song, right? Because I felt that certain way that day about something, right?
Right.
And then 3 weeks later, It's like I'm listening to a song and I don't feel that way anymore. Solve problem was solved and all that, and it's like woohoo wah and I just it felt so lame. It's like I'm like I'm gonna be singing this song in the future, knowing that I was just whining and emotional for a second.
Right.
I wasn't. Is this is It's not gonna convict anybody of anything. It's not gonna make anybody better. Actually, it's gonna make a lot of more people whiny,
Right.
which is gonna gather around and just whine all together.
One
And
big pity party.
you have a big pity party. Nobody's gonna get bit. Nobody, you know what I mean? Now I
Yeah.
gotta have to be explaining myself every time I play this song.
Right.
Like, hey, this was through a season and when, you know what I mean? And then I'm just gonna bring some solution, and people are gonna realize, oh, he doesn't feel that way anymore. And
Right.
it's like it's like I destroyed the whole
Right.
experience for them. And I realized this is not the way. I just don't
Right.
feel like there's way more in life than myself.
Right.
I need to be selfless with my art. That I will say that's the conclusion, and my mindset is like I need to be selfless with my art.
Right.
It cannot be only about myself. Yes, it's cool to express yourself. That's cool. But it's like when you have purpose, when you understand God's purpose for your life, which is to serve, not to be served, it's like you understand the macro of like the whole thing is like you have to serve other people. So with everything I do, with everything I put my hands on, it's just to serve people and I want you to be better.
Yeah.
That should be my goal, you know what I mean? Even
Right.
if it's a lyric that is personal, it should bring solutions, it should be, and not always, I'm gonna, like I said, not every lyric or every song is gonna hit where I wanted to hit. Like, not, it's like not every song is gonna solve your problems, but hopefully most of them, when you listen to them, when you read the lyrics, you're like, yeah, I feel that and I like that. And yeah, it's bringing me a solution. Oh, I can go from there and just try that out.
Right.
And maybe probably that song is gonna keep me moving and making me feel better and understanding that I'm not gonna be there forever on this particular situation, or that there's a solution, and or that I'm not the only person who feels that, but that I am also an individual that can get out of this. Like, I don't know, maybe Daniel did, because that's what he's saying in that song.
Right.
Like I try to keep it selfless. And I like it, man. I like even when I try to go back to me, it's like, nah, let's go back to you. Let's go back to the Lord. Let's
Yeah.
go back to what can I serve the people? What can I give the people?
Right.
And yeah.
I mean, you could use, your whining song as a way of self-healing. You let it out and then you can kind of eh, I've had those songs too where, it's not necessarily great, but it was me venting
hmm
and I didn't know how else to say it. So, you write
And
a
you
song.
need them, and you need
Yeah.
them. I'm not saying, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just not my approach.
Right.
I guess because I am not too emotional as a person. It's a weird feeling because I am very musical and very artistic. Since I was little, I was always like I was in love with drawing. That was my first ever. My dad, he's a pastor, but he loves drawing, he loves metal, and he loves music, and he was always, just, hey, check this out. And it was crazy
Nice.
growing up with my dad. Sitting on his lap watching like the X-Men or the Ninja Turtles, or like, you know what I mean? Or just like drawing books or watching Metallica play in the background on MTV. And like that was my upbringing. So since I was very young, I was very exposed to arts and creation. And my dad is very creative with his hands. He loves like wood carving and carpentry. And he was a welder and like a handyman, which people sometimes don't think though those are also things that are part of being a creative, but they are.
Yeah.
My dad was he will do the craziest things with like welding and even like he used to love customizing cars. And it's like you will think, oh, that because I don't care about cars, right? I will be like, I don't care.
Right.
But that's also creative. Like He will fix things in the house. That's also creative. He will just come up with the most random ways to fix things. They will look weird, but they will be very functional. And it's like you will think about it after you're like, that's not looking great, but it's very functional.
Right.
I wonder what he, the process behind what he thought about
Right.
to get to that point where it's functional and it's cool. It's actually cool. You know what I mean? And I'm so amazed by creators and creation. I love that God gave me the privilege of like be part of the community of. I mean, to me, everybody's creative in their own little way.
Right.
Like, bro, my wife with the cooking is like, how? How is this so great? And she, like even baking is like a science.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
very methodical, but it's like art, and it's like, and she does great. Like she does amazing pastries and stuff like that. And it's like, I will never be able to. I mean, I don't know, but I know that I'm never gonna be able to do any of that.
Right.
And I'm amazed how God had put in her hands the ability just to bake and do other things that that's not my forte.
Right.
It's, you know, I go like, you make the pastries, I make the branding, I make the images, and we combine those together and let's start a business. I
Yeah.
mean, we did it for a while when we were in Orlando. We're not doing it anymore. But and it's great, create some being different and having different talents and combining them and using it together is very powerful, man.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah. I kind of, when I was starting this, when I kept thinking about, you know, what does, a life of creation mean? And because, everyone just assumes an artist is a creator. Like you have to
Hmm.
be, those are the same thing, artist and a
Right.
creator. And I started thinking about all the people. I'm like, well, I can't do what they do,
Hmm.
and they can't do what I do. Maybe that's just their form of creation. This is my form of creation. And we need everyone
Hmm.
because, if we only had painters running the world, not much would get done.
No.
And
No,
so,
even being in a band, dude, that's the most beautiful um, picture of like what is it to be creative. Everyone with their own sound and with their own ideas. Uh, there was a point in Clear Convictions where I was the music producer, and everybody will add stuff and make it way better. But then the guitarist, he was a recording artist, like he was amazing. And then the bass player, he was great at mastering, and
right,
the drummer, he was like this marketing genius. Like it's so many different things and just coming together, and then you see the final product. And some people will say, "Ah, that's just so average." Oh, they sound. But to me, it was so joyful and so beautiful to watch. Just like, and then I'm doing like all this graphic design, and then I have all the another graphic design, and then we all put in, there's input from everybody, and then this you're cooking, and then at
right,
the end, boom, this beautiful product, and God is using this product, and which makes it more amazing.
right,
You're getting reaching people, and then you print the CD and it feels unbelievable. And everybody's like, nobody listens to CD. I don't care. It's beautiful.
yeah,
I kiss it. I'm like, wow, you're beautiful. Because all I see is my hard work,
right,
and like everybody's input and it's amazing. I can't live without without creations, without being doing something. It's part of my DNA, and I get depressed. I admit that sometimes I get depressed if I don't keep going. Like
right.
it's who I am as a person, and having a regular job sometimes too. Doing blue collar jobs, which is what I do, and it's amazing, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's a different type of creation that I'm not part of. Um, and it's very important, dude. It's very important. I've been dying just to talk to people like you and talk to other people and just, communicate and share stories and experiences and I mean, your perspective. I've been listening to some of this stuff and your perspective and all that, and it helps me too, you know. And even like I said, I don't need 1,000 people. I mean, it will be great.
Right.
I just need to be doing God's will and to serve. So if I'm serving you right now, that's all we need. This
Yeah.
conversation is if it has to be between you and I'm serving you, you're serving me. That's it. That's it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. I mean, my desire for the channel was also slightly selfish for me to I'm like I know so many people who are creative and
Mhm.
we never sit down and talk about what we do.
Mhm.
Why don't I just create a YouTube channel and call people I know and be like, "Hey, tell me about what you do."
Or you're serving them too. You know, you're serving them because now you're exposing them.
Right.
Now I gain interest in some of the people you're,
Right.
uh, interviewing. I was like, wow, I never thought about that. And
Yeah.
it's very important, bro, to build community. I mean, I think you think it's selfish, and in some sense, you're trying to find something, and which is great. You're looking for
Right.
something, and you want to find. Wow, you're probably dealing with that, right? You're probably dealing with the I have a job and it's always the same, and I'm bored to death, and I need to find something, an outlet, and we all do that, and
Yeah.
it's okay. It's not wrong. What I mean
Right.
by that is, what I mean is, it's okay to look, but it's okay also to look inside and find your motives and shift shift them into something that probably could be more uh fulfill
Right.
fulfilling and productive.
Yeah. I
And
mean, I think that's the journey of the creator. Is like you always have ideas and you always need to be doing something. And I shoot photos as my career. I go into an office 9 to 5 every day
Mhm.
and do photo work. So that's no longer like my creative, soul fulfilling outlet.
Right.
I love it. It's like an
Mhm.
amazing job. But I came home and I pick up a guitar, try and play music or something, and all of that is fun, and I record at home, but a lot of it is just solo stuff.
Mhm.
And so I think part of the heart of the channel is like just connecting with other people who are in that journey themselves and just almost like, I've talked to a couple people about just mental health and
Mhm.
just how much, doing these kind of things really helps our minds. And, we may stay up until super late at night doing some things, but it's like you wake up just like feeling like you did something,
I did it.
meaningful.
I got it out.
Yeah.
It's an urge,
Yeah.
bro. I'm telling you, I know that feeling at all. I know that feeling. Yeah, I am one of those people. I don't know. One of the questions you asked, which is how my creative process, and my creative process is very simple. It's in my head. I start listening to it in my head, whatever it is, or I start seeing it, and then from there I go home. And dude, I build the whole thing in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, but I build it all in my head. And then if it's graphic design, then I make some bullet points. But if it's music, I grab the guitar, which is because that's my main instrument, record it, and then start building from there. And then the message is like, oh, I have this, like let's say, like right now, I'm in a season of my life that I really need to trust God. I
Right.
really need to trust God. It's insane how difficult it has been, and it's like, God, I'm in my limit. I'm like, I've done everything I can, and it's not happening. And I need to just let go and trust,
Right.
and go and trust. So, so I'm thinking about that, and it's like, man, I need to write a song about that, about trusting God,
Right.
right? So, and it's like, I'm already thinking it has to say this. There has to be a solution. And then I go like, I need to find the solution first, and then I can provide a solution. And I need to do this, and people need to hear this because hopefully that brings them solutions too,
Right.
and trusting God and all that. So I start building everything in my head, and then I come and I just have to do it. And It's insufferable. My wife is like, "Can you please stop already? I have heard the same song
Yeah.
like a million times already. Please stop." It's like I have to. I can't stop.
Yeah.
It needs to happen, and like even the artist, like I don't know if you've seen the cover art for the new album, which is a tatted guy with a cross and it says endure.
Mm-hmm.
And the song talks about that, how in like this difficult times you have to be strong as a Christian, as a believer, and you have to be tough about it, and you need to understand what's the reason behind that, why you have to endure,
Right.
and what the Bible says about that. And I love that. I love that album cover. I love that artwork because it's like basically seeing myself in a mirror. It's like that's me. That's me telling myself to endure
Yeah.
in the faith, and keep my faith. Hold fast and keep my faith, endure. And it's like a strong guy holding a cross, and it says endure, like
Right.
endure. And and everything it has to say something, and that's the way I create. It starts here, I build it from here, and then I come. Dude, I wrote 6 songs in one day at some point because I kept downloading
Yeah.
information in my head, and I just start really basic. I write 3 riffs, I program the drums, and I just start. Dude, you have to start. You have to.
Yeah.
It can't be like if it bothers you, you need to start. It doesn't need to be perfect. It can take a year to be polished.
Yeah.
There's songs that have taken me a year, and there you will hear them, and it's like that's so basic. It took me a year. I don't care, but I did it. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going
Yeah.
until it's done, until like you feel that it's perfect for you.
Right.
It's like, oh, I listen to the song and I read the lyrics and all that, and I feel like it's for me. Okay, now I can release it
Right.
to the work. Whatever happens, happens. But you have to start. I should start. I have a lot of like ideas, unfinished ideas and all that. I will recommend finishing them. It's something that I have learned over the years. Because I wasn't like this before, but it's just I have matured and developed into a point that where I just start.
Right.
I'm not. I was so dude. I was such a perfectionist. Dude, I will never talk to you just of fear of having an accent or just being so perfect or having a great background.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
just I'm just like and I was like, you know what, Lord, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't care if the background is my bed. I don't care if my English is perfect. You know what I mean? I don't care, I don't care anymore about anything. I just need to, we need to do, I have to start. I have to do it. And I've
Right.
been, having this mindset for a while now, and I just keep doing things, keep doing things. I'm gonna dare to talk to people more. I'm gonna dare to be more, upfront about my faith. I'm gonna be bold in the way I present myself and my ideas. I know I have ideas. I know you have given me things where I can serve people and help people. And I'm just gonna stop being perfect, and I'm just
Right.
gonna go for them. And then eventually, I start learning more and more, getting used to it. Obviously, you're gonna polish yourself to a point where it's just gonna be feel natural,
Right.
and boom. But you have to start. You have to. If you have something in your mind, don't wait to have the perfect camera. Don't wait to 5 years until you're done with like, I don't know, school and graphic design or something like that. Just start, just build community, just talk to people.
Right.
Just do go. You want to start and the most it's lame because it's lame, but it's the best way to start as a Christian. Just go at church and just, be a volunteer in the graphic
Right.
design team. Who cares if you don't know anything? Hey, who cares if they don't know anything? Because probably they don't,
Probably not.
but they're doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You go in and you go like, oh, I thought I didn't know how to do anything, but these people don't either.
Right.
But they're doing it, and
Yeah.
I'm doing it now.
Right.
I put my foot in, and I'm just doing it, and I'm just pursuing it. I don't know anything about photography, but I do it. I bought a Canon, got no clue what I was doing, a bunch of lenses. I'm taking pictures. And it's like David, my guitarist, he's amazing with the pictures. And my old guitarist, Carlos, he has a whole company now. He does movies and takes pictures, all kinds of stuff, weddings. You know how it is.
Yeah.
There's a big industry on that. And they all started just like that. 'Cause I remember Carlos. I don't like to speak for him, but I remember his dad is a good, very good photographer. But Carlo was like in the
Right.
music industry. He wanted just to be, recording, recording, and a big studio. And out of need, we needed to take pictures for the band.
Right.
So he got a camera and started taking pictures, and they came out really good. And we were like, "Yo, those are so good! Like, you should like do that more." And he's like, but then he realized, wait, I do have an eye for this, and
Right.
my dad knows a lot and he can teach me. And then it was just naturally he evolved from recording arts to just videography and all that kind of stuff he does.
Right.
And he's really good. And it's like he has his own business now and all that. And bro, it wasn't like he went to school. He just started.
Right.
And he made a lot of mistakes, and we all do.
Yeah.
And that's how Clear Convictions was too. We just started and like let's go, let's serve the people, let's do it. Hey, that song sucks. Okay, let's not play that ever again. The response was terrible, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we play the song because you
Right.
have to just do it. And it sounds corny. It sounds like a Nike ad, but it's real. You have to do it. You know what I mean? You just have to go and do it. You have to have a mindset of like, Lord, I love this. I want to serve you through this. I want to serve people through this, and I'm just gonna do it. I don't care, especially if you're young. It's like just go for it, man. You have like early 20s. Just get your foot in the industry, whatever it is that you're in. Just do it, man, and just clean the toilets until you're able to sit down in front of the computer and just put some layers together,
Right.
and until you can just get access to Photoshop or I don't know, Lightroom, and you can start editing, and just watch videos on YouTube. And who cares? Like, if you don't know how to do something, just research and do it, and just
Right.
fail and then do it all over again until you're like constantly on the working so hard on it that you become good and you get out of it. I'm pretty sure that's how you did it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you grab a camera and you were like, I don't know, I just like doing this, and you started doing it,
Yeah.
and then boom, you're good. And then suddenly, bro, look at your walls. You have a bunch of pictures that probably took
No,
a
I didn't
while
take
ago.
those ones.
No,
No.
disappointed.
Those were a couple from Richard E. Aaron. So he shot the Sex Pistols when they first came to the United States.
Ooh,
So there's a Sex
those are
Pistols
vintage.
one, and then Ramones one, and then the big one is by Robert Knight, and it's Van Halen.
Still good. Anyways, I mean, you did a lot of praise down,
Yeah, yeah.
and you
I mean,
did a
I've
lot
done a
of,
lot.
as a creator too, going back to that, you should be compensated for your work accordingly, like,
Right,
and in the economical aspect of it, many people are so reactive to that, like, no, no, so pure, the gatekeeping is weird.
yeah,
Like, bro, no, you should get paid accordingly to your hard work. And guess what? You're not getting paid for your time. You're getting paid for your knowledge. If you're doing this for 30 years, and someone, if you think he charged you a lot, you're in the wrong side of like the wrong mindset, because he's not paying you a lot because of time or what. It's paying him because of the knowledge he has and the
right,
experience. You know how many You know how hard he had to, like, how many hours he worked for that to get to that point where he can charge you that, because and you're gonna be, it guarantees you a good job and a good product,
yeah,
and you're like, being all edgy about it and gatekeepy about it, and it's like, dude, stop. I think creators should be paid for what they do and pay accordingly. Now, I will tell creatives, stop whining about it. I can't stand when they post things like explaining themselves why. It's like, don't do that. Just don't do it. Like, if he doesn't want to pay you, that's not your guy.
Right.
Don't pull down your prices. Don't push down your prices. Don't be complaining about it. Don't explain yourself. Just do what you do, and the right people just pray to God. If you're a Christian, pray to God. God, you gave me the talents, you gave me the ideas, right? You gave me the business. You are also gonna give me the clients.
Yeah.
Open the doors, the opportunity, and bring the right people. If there's something wrong in me, change me. If I'm doing, there's a system that is wrong, change it. But don't degrade yourself. Have some dignity,
Yeah.
And if you think your value, your work has some value, stay on that. Stand on that mindset. Don't let anybody just tell you how or what you should do, how much you should charge. You do what you do, and if you're a Christian and you know God, Almighty God, is on your side, He's gonna send you the clients. He is.
Yeah.
He is gonna
Definitely.
send you the people you're gonna serve, and through that service, those people are gonna know God because they're gonna see it through you.
Right.
Be professional, stay consistent, and you'll see the result. But don't be complaining or have some dignity. Bottom line, have some dignity. Yeah, you need to, man. I never force myself into anything. I have dignity. Like I do art, I create solutions, I create service, put it out there. If you like it, you will come to me. We'll partner it up and we'll work together, right?
Right.
Same with you. If I see what you do, you take great pictures. I go like, man, Chad had, I wish I could get some pictures with this guy. This guy's great, man. I wish I could, and then I'll come and talk to you and we'll make business.
Right.
I'm not, I don't believe in forcing myself in to have business with someone. I just let my work go out there and whoever's interested, I'm pretty sure he's gonna come and voluntarily wants he's gonna want to work with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the mindset that I have because and that's what dignity does for you, right? You
Right.
you you value yourself. You don't have to be um pushing yourself into others or like trying to that insecurity needs to go because you're a son of God, and God gave you something, gave you a talent, gave you something, you have to trust God. You put it out there and you let the right people, the right clients come to you.
Right.
You play the music you love, you let the people who want to listen to it come to you, and those who want to join the community. Those who not interested, don't be mad about it.
Right.
Don't be mad about it. Some people get mad that I don't have as many likes at this band, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I care, but I don't care if I have to force it.
Right.
I'll keep evolving. I'll keep evolving. I'll keep learning to a point where if I get the same reaction as the other bands, the same acceptance, the same, success, I will say that. Cool. You know what I mean? But I'm not, I'm not forcing myself. Don't know. It's very, as a musician, as an artist, it's very, doesn't look good. It doesn't look good when people do that. It's like, it's it shows that you're still insecure of what you do.
Yeah.
And it's like you're not believing that what God gave you is enough, is important, and it will reach whoever needs to be reached through what you're doing.
Right.
But like I said, when it becomes up about you, that's when it looks like that, like really bad.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
It does look terrible. Um, yeah, I think I always viewed my career as, just I kind of just went wherever a door opened. And, I was worried about money occasionally,
Mhm.
but I worked other jobs to pay bills and stuff and just keep me afloat. And I was just kind of like, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm pursuing. A door will open if I'm supposed to be doing it. And,
Right. Trust God.
and it's happened that way. I haven't forced anything really. All I do is worked hard, put in the time, effort, the trust, and just pursued what was in front of me.
Right.
And it's been working so far.
That's because that's the right approach. It's just, I understand that there's no black and white for
No,
a lot of things, but there's certain things that it's just they this it's I mean, your approach is just a standard approach and how it should be. You know what I
right,
mean? There's things that are just the way they are. There's no way around it. It's that's the correct way and it works.
yeah,
And when you're a Christian and you have understanding that your talents are not yours, you just put it in God's hands and you go like you said, if this is for me, God is gonna make a way, it's
right,
gonna come. And even if you're not a Christian, if you put the, if it's something is for you, all you got to do is be consistent and just
right,
trust what you're doing, and just don't get desperate. Be patient, and one day at a time. And I'm not gonna discard that you could get patience sometimes. I still do sometimes, and I gotta be reminding myself, like, bro, you need to learn to wait and to trust God.
right,
And thank God I have a wife that is the same way with me, which is like, you need to trust God. You need to calm down. You're too stressed.
right,
Because naturally, as a man, you want to take care of business yourself. Sometimes get your hands in, and it doesn't work like that. You gotta just, like you said, just chill, relax, sit back, and God. Like I said, if you want this for me, you're gonna make it happen in the right time. One thing I want to mention about that is the in between of in the waiting, something that I learned recently is just not to sit down and look
right.
at the stare at the white wall waiting for something to happen. While you wait, you need to focus on getting ready for the opportunity. While you wait means that you need to be taking care of other things. You cannot sit down and just wait for that to happen to you.
Right.
If you're waiting in the Lord, it means that through that process, while you're waiting, you need to be focusing on getting ready or doing something else. And I have learned to not distract myself. Well, sometimes I get will do,
Right.
but most of the times it's like if something is not happening right there, right now. Like let's put a simple example. It's like I wrote an email, right, to you about business, about, hey, when is I'm trying to schedule when is that we're gonna, take the pictures, and you have an answer. I'm not gonna
Right.
just be sitting there waiting for you to answer.
Right.
I will go and start thinking about what do I want for the picture, what outfit I'm gonna get. Oh, I gotta take the kids to school.
Right.
I gotta pick up the kids from school. I gotta go to work. I gotta, just let me spend more time with God. Let me
Right.
pray. Let me read the Bible. Let me, I'm not gonna sit there. They need people in the church to volunteer. I'm just gonna go and volunteer. You cannot sit like when it comes to the things of God and the opportunities. There's two approaches. You go for it, right? You go
Mm-hmm.
for it for the upward. Or if you're waiting, if you're choosing to leave it in God's hands, you wait. Doesn't mean that you're gonna sit down and just not do anything. You have to just keep doing other things until it comes because it's gonna come.
Right.
Sometimes I'll be like waiting on something, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and just stare at the computer to see if it happens. I'm just gonna go and I need to cut the grass or do something else. And I start doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, you know,
Right.
and I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do and then I forget about it. And then I remember. And then I come back to the computer, it's like, oh, he answered already, like 2 hours ago, and I forgot.
Right.
It's gonna come. You just have to learn how to wait. And sometimes waiting doesn't mean sitting down and not doing anything, but enjoying the process while you wait. Enjoy
Right.
the process. Don't be focused so much on it. Just go and do other things and then come back. And
Yeah.
it will come whenever it's gonna come. It could take one day, it could take 1 week, it could take a long time. And sometimes it's just like annoying, but God knows best.
Yeah.
God knows best. And when God look, something that I learn experience, not only learn experience, is that when God gives, He gives more than you ask for because He
Yeah.
knows best. And when He does it, is it always in the perfect timing? It always feels great. He always takes the glory.
Yeah.
No matter how you try to, you're always gonna remember that experience like, oh, that was definitely God.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be enjoyable and it's gonna be great and it's not gonna harm you. It's gonna make you better. And you're gonna understand a lot of things too. It's like, oh, now I understand why it wasn't in January and it happened in summer. Thank God now, thank God that it happened in summer, like
Right.
to put an example out there. And it's something that you really, especially entrepreneurs, creators, and we have a hard time waiting on the Lord and trusting God. And it's gonna happen. Like you say, this is for you. That job as a creator is gonna happen. If
Yeah.
you know, I've been speaking to one of my. He's a new friend. I haven't. It's not a long term relationship. We just started like speaking a couple weeks ago. But he's a musician that he wants to tour. He wants to be full time. He went to school for graphic design and all that. And we started speaking about it's like, hey man, why don't you just start like doing freelance work? You know,
Yeah.
that's the best way to go if you want to do this, that. And he's like, yeah, I started doing it, but it's been a little bit slow lately, but hopefully it picks up again, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for my ocean. But he had a good attitude. He's like, I'm praying and I know if it's the Lord, he's gonna provide in the right time and all that. And
Yeah.
then suddenly I spoke to him today and he's like, hey man, I got great news. I'm doing like freelance work for this church and hopefully they said that if like I do a good job hopefully they can land more work. Like right now I'm not getting paid, but
Right.
and it just starts and then he started telling me other things that they're all aligning,
Right.
and it's so beautiful to watch because it's like I learned a lot from that. Served me a lot. I was like, you see, Lord, I need to be more like him. I need to
Yeah.
learn from him more to just it's great that and it's good to know that if you put something in someone's heart, you're going to take care of it. And all we need to do is just trust and just let go. Just let go. Like God says in the Bible that even He feeds the birds. He says, do not be worried about what we eat or how we get whatever we wearing.
Yeah.
Like He will take care of it. And it's not being lazy. It's not being careless. It's just trusting God. It's just, you can work hard and still trust God,
Yeah.
you know? And he will provide the right people for your business, the right customers, the right ideas, because he put it in your heart,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And I think if we are following the calling in our hearts, it's our job is to like you said, to just start doing it
Yeah, you gotta
and
start.
just keep chasing it, and you see these things start aligning like your friend
Right.
was seeing, and it's kind of like, you know we are just called to step out, right? And once we step out and start chasing these things, that's when God goes, all right, now I'm going to start like showing you the path.
Right, because God sees that you are available, and
Yeah.
that's all he cares about.
Right.
That's why
And
you
it,
need, as a creative, you need to start. You need
right.
just to start and just be available, and God will do the rest. And that's it's hard. It's hard because you know, I don't know you, but I'm a perfectionist, man, and it kills me.
I've learned that I'm not, so
Yeah, I am a
I'm blessed
perfectionist,
in
and
that
it kills
area.
me because I just it's dangerous
Yeah.
because you want to portray something you're not.
Yeah.
You know, you want to have people, you want to make people think that you're something you're not.
Right.
I'm not saying not being excellent for God or, you know, be the best you can. I think we should be excellent as
Right.
creators and we should develop our skills. I don't
Right.
think we should be lazy because a lot of people in art nowadays is like super lazy and
Right.
it's all about feelings and all that. And it's like, no, you need to be good. You know,
Right.
there needs to be some kind of
Yeah.
skill in what
Yeah.
you do. You know, not all the time, right?
Right.
Let's
Yeah,
not
you're
talk
never
about
going to be perfect all the
right. You're
time.
not gonna, but you should be good. You know, especially you know as Christians, you're representing God, not yourself. You're representing God. You know,
Right.
it could be turned into something fake and draining and selfish because you want to portray something.
Right.
It's all about you. And I try to. I mean, like I said, I'm just starting to. I want to stay away from that. Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Right.
And I'm not a person who likes. I'm very authentic in the way I am, but I recognize sometimes that you know I want to be so excellent, or I camouflage it as being excellent
Hmm.
that it feels like I'm just trying to portray an image I'm not, or that I want to be liked.
Right.
And it's okay. It's okay. Everybody wants to be liked,
Right.
you know, but it's so limiting, especially as a Christian, especially as a creator. It's just limit. It's so limiting just to be a perfectionist. You're missing so much. People are missing so much from you,
Right.
and you're missing so much for yourself because when you limit yourself because you don't have the resources, guess what? You don't grow. You don't learn. You don't try new things. You don't you can't find new perspectives on things because you're just so shallow minded that you want a certain way that sometimes things that are supposed to happen don't even happen ever
Right.
because you're just like, oh, it's never gonna happen because you know my English is not perfect, so I'm not gonna do it, you know. And it's like I need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
I need to stop doing that because people need to listen to what I have to say. God has used me as I'm a vessel and I might not be perfect, but God wants to use me, and I'm just limiting myself because I want to be so perfect
Right.
in my image and whatever I do that I'm limiting my potential, my growth, you know, and all the good things that God wants to me, and I'm limiting myself of building a great community of people, like-minded people, individuals, creators, and all that because I am just too scared of what people might think about me. When you hit me, I was like, I mean, I've been doing a couple like Spanish podcasts
Hmm.
with other people, which because it's not even a language thing, it's just me. Like I am very dumb in the way I express myself. I'm
You're
straight dumb. Like I will just say things and then I like what the hell I just said, you know. And I get scared of saying the wrong thing.
right.
Uh, So it's like it's still a challenge even in my if I'm doing a Spanish, but it's a challenge because it's like I hope I don't screw it up, you know. And I did one the other day, and he just sent it to me, and I finally saw it, listened to it, and I was just the whole time I was like just cringing. And it's like, ah man. But the whole conversation was very edifying, dude.
Right.
It was very edifying, and I'm pretty sure like even my wife listened to it. It's just like that's so edifying, and it's like yeah, if I will keep that mindset of perfection, it has to be perfect. I will have never done it,
Right.
you know. And my wife was edified. I'm pretty sure my friend was edified. I'm pretty sure that you and I were being edified right now,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
know. And it's like why I'm not doing this more. I need to do this more. I need to stop. I need to stop limiting myself. I just have to do it. Let's go, Nike. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like I just have to do it. And I'm always being like that. But when it comes to stuff like this, I've never done it. So it's a new space for me, and it's scary, and it's like, but I just have to do it. And I was
Yeah.
like, how is that I'm a creator and I create all this music and all this art and I've done so many things and I'm so scared of just talking, you know what I
Right.
mean? And portraying myself some way
Right.
that I'm probably not. Like, what strongholds in my head? I gotta break those and just do it. And I'm just like, he hit me up, like, I'm gonna do it. Then he hit me up again. I did it again. Then you hit me up, like, I'm gonna do it. And hopefully when we put this out there, a lot of people are going to be edified by it, and a lot of other opportunities, not just for me, but for you to serve other people, are
Yeah.
going to pop up, and more conversations like this that we actually need in the music community. I
Right.
believe there's going to be a revival in the music community. It's happening already. There's a lot of bands that are just popping up.
Yeah.
A lot of music, a lot of art. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are coming back to the Lord. I mean, I've seen like 3 testimonies already from just people listening to our music.
It's crazy.
And it's killer for me because it's a great feeling because it's the most satisfying feeling, to be honest. Even more satisfying than having a career. And that's a lot to say because I'm 40 and I would love to have a career.
Right.
I don't. I don't have it. But it's like when they say like, coming back to the Lord and just true repentance and just changing my life. And I was, depressed and I want to kill myself. And I listened to the music and it stopped. It just made me think about that. And I decided just to move on and continue to live, and forgive and all those things that are great. It feels great. It feels more fulfilling and and it's like I need to do this more. I'm frustrated. We can't play many shows right now because I live here in Florida. David lives in Canada, and and the other guys live in Puerto Rico. So I might have to.
It's hard to get a
I'm not
band
getting that
practice.
right. It's hard. So I'm gonna have to get people closer to me at some point, and just I don't want to do that, but I need to serve the community. I just feel a great desire just to, man, I need to play shows, build community, talk
Yeah.
to the people, serve the people. There's so much depression in the music scene. There's so much, confusion, anger. I mean, you hear all the bands, and it's like tough guy environment all day long,
Yeah.
and it's like emptiness and hollowness and atheism and all this new age stuff and people are hungry, dude. People want God. People want to find and
Yeah.
feel something and find it and be fulfilled. And you know, I might not reach higher places, but I'm satisfied with the fact that if I get to build community and people see people. I will love to be see a lot of people getting saved, but at least if they can see and feel God through what we do, that would be awesome. You
Yeah.
know, because that's what we're called to do. And I believe we gotta go where the people are.
Yeah.
I love that. Whether it's like painting, graffiti, hip hop, hardcore punk, indie rock, folk, worship, photography. I wish there were more like I wish there were more like movies, Christian movies. Less corny, please. But you know what I mean?
Like there are some, but yeah, they're kind of in the corny world.
But I don't mind. I love the corny stuff. I am a corny Christian. Hey guys, I am a corny Christian. I do not care. I used to listen to DC Talk. Okay, I do not care. I am a corny Christian. But it will be cool.
Right.
If we could do stuff that is a little bit more relatable,
Definitely.
not so country. There's folks like us from the city. We're not
Right.
from the burbs. Well, some of us are.
Maybe that's your next creative journey.
Hey, I won't mind. I wish I had people and the money to do it. I would love to write like a movie and or act. I would love to, do more stuff like that. I keep telling my friend Carlos, I was like, man, I wish I could. I don't know if I have the ability, like I said, I just have to do it. But I would love to produce more movies, Christian movies, but like more like in the music kind of vibe, the music community or stories that are more relatable to young people and all that stuff.
Right.
I mean, not so country. No, nothing wrong, but it's hard, man. For me, I'm an urban kid.
Right. You can't relate with small town, rural,
Well,
middle
I
America.
do. I do. I mean, I live in Gainesville, outside Gainesville. Like there was a Walmart 45 minutes away from where I was staying, which is it tells you a lot because Walmart is in every single corner in
Right.
Florida. And where I live right now, it's a small town too. I love the country life. I love farms. I wish I had like 5 acres minimum, and I can have cows and chickens. I love all that.
Yeah.
I wear my cowboy boots once in a while. I love all that. I mean, I don't mind it, but I do feel I feel like something meant for the cities, because a lot of people run away from the cities because it's hectic. But it's
Yeah.
like someone has to preach to those guys,
Yeah.
and those are souls that need salvation too, and they need people. They need someone to tell them something, give them some kind of hope or something. You know what I mean? Um, and not everybody can be running away to the small town because it's cheaper, and you know it's more conservative and people don't mess with you. Yeah, that feels great. I experienced that and I love it. But at the same time, it's like I need to get out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
and go to the people that nobody wants to go to. You know what I mean? Someone has to do it.
Right.
Someone has to go, there's a need and I need to fulfill that need. Someone has to be bold enough to do it. And I commend all the people who do it. The few who are doing it, I have respect for them because it's a huge, leap of faith that you have to leave the comfort zone of like cheaper life, small town, beautiful vibes, suburbs vibes, to
Right.
go to the slums,
Yeah.
inner cities, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it just deal with all the tatted people, with all the crazy people, with the artists, with all the people with all the different ideologies, you know what I mean? And all the different things that come out of like the environment, and just go there and be like the corny Christian and make a little difference. I gotta commend you if you do that, because it's a lot. I experienced that myself. I mean, I remember people even at shows, bro, throwing me with like chairs. If I would say something about Christ, throwing me a chair, a beer, curse at me,
Yeah.
be mad, you know what I mean? Go to our like merch table and just hit and say stuff, insults, making fun of us, making fun of me. And it's like you gotta be really bold. I don't it's not for everybody. I will say
Yeah.
this. I will say that if you're cold, do it. But if you're not cold, not I won't say don't do it. I would say it's okay to be a Christian in a band and not having to,
Be in the
sign up.
trenches
Yes,
necessarily.
yes, in the trenches and sign up for the craziness.
Yeah.
It's okay. God gave you the talent. You want to use it. You want to express. Go for it. I'm all for it. Please, more Christians in bands. Maybe the environment is going to get a little bit less harsh. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, if you're like in the same boat that I am as a creative of going and just go hard and get out of the comfort zone and do things. Yeah, I commend you because it's very difficult. Sometimes there was a period that I didn't want to do it anymore. It was so harsh all the time that it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm no Peter. I don't want no suffering. Especially when you have kids. You're so worried about your kids all the time. It's like everything becomes a barrier.
Right.
You put this big barrier around you. It's like I don't care. I don't want to get in trouble as a Christian, even as a Christian, because I don't want, my kids. But you know what? You need to get in trouble because of your kids.
Yeah.
You need to, because if you don't get in trouble, then the future of your kids is at risk.
Yeah.
So you gotta fight for the future, for your
Yeah.
kids, for the food. Because if you protect too much what you have, there's the point that you're gonna look at it, it's not gonna be there anymore. And then whatever you were trying to do didn't work. So you gotta be bold and break that barrier and just go and fight for your kids and your family and the future of this nation and the future of the nations in general. And the future. I mean, I know the Bible says what it says in Revelations. I know it's meant to happen anyways. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
understand that, but that doesn't mean that I gotta sit back and just watch it all go to hell, literally,
Right.
right? So
We can slow it a little bit.
we can slow a little bit. It's not even about slowing a little bit. It's about caring about souls
Right.
and the eternity, and caring about, if you actually believe that God created you for a purpose, that you fulfill your purpose. As simple as that, in my opinion. If is that an opinion? I
Well,
don't know, but it might be.